What do you do as a politician when nothing is working? Well, you could change the kinds of things you are doing, but obviously you're not going to do that. So instead, you make a bunch of useless gestures. With the government shut down, an increasingly bleak economic outlook, the release of more incriminating Epstein messages, and general terror enacted on the American people, Americans have increasingly turned against the Trump administration and the GOP more generally. Sentiment polls show a drop in support for Trump among key demographics, such as baby boomers, and Republicans across the country took a beating in recent state and city elections. In response, Trump threw a hell of a lot of spaghetti at the wall, and today we are going to judge just how well that spaghetti is gonna stick. So, got a tier list for you. A little short one, but basically, Trump was like making some weird moves in the last week. Kinda thought they were like in response to how poorly his team has been doing recently. Does that sound right? Like,
Yeah,
am I?
yeah, that makes sense. Like, yeah, let's see. So what they are. So are we ranking them in terms of? So these are like actual like kind of policy like things. How are we ranking
Yeah,
them?
we're ranking them by like how
Stickiness.
well by stickiness, and by like how well we think they're going to win back some of that approval. Like an S tier is like he actually releases the med beds and everyone in America is allowed to like cure their diseases immediately.
Got it. Okay.
Like
how
that
good
would be an
and
S tier.
popular?
That would
How
be like
good?
the greatest president of all time. He invented
Sure.
med beds. A D tier would be this is not going to help him and will probably hurt him.
Okay, but we're talking. Okay, I'm going to be more like, is it an actual good policy? I don't know. Popular. Like there's like popularity, and then there's the will it actually work and achieve any stated objectives?
Sure.
Right.
They're not all like policies.
Okay. All
Some
right.
of them
Well,
are
then
just
let's see.
statements.
All right, let's just
All
get
right.
into the list.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me.
Okay. This is the first one is a policy. This is the recent repeal of coffee, beef, bananas, and other reciprocal tariffs that he, enacted.
Well, you know
to
what they
try
say.
to drive down prices.
You know what they say. Bananas ain't rent.
Do they say
50% more. People say that shit all the time because it's true. Even if you double the price of bananas, nobody notices that. This doesn't move rent. This doesn't move healthcare. This does
Right.
nothing. I mean, I
Okay.
can imagine
So
that
like the
he's
stated goal is like affordability in America, right? Like so reducing the price of coffee and bananas doesn't
Wait.
affect
But
your
he said the other countries are going to pay the tariff. So why is giving them break going to help America?
just Danny.
Interesting.
Therefore, I rate this D. Ineffective. Does nothing.
Okay.
I'll give it a C because it does a little bit. Like, yeah, good. There shouldn't be high tariffs on coffee. That's stupid. We don't grow coffee here. So great. We don't grow bananas here either. So it does something. It just doesn't do anything important. It's not a big deal.
I love this policy. This does have an impact on Americans. Like that, like he did make these commodities more expensive through his policy. And by reversing his policy, he will improve the lives of Americans somewhat. But like he shouldn't get credit for that. like backing off of his bad plan. Like what? Like he should back off more of that plan. Why just for coffee? He said it was because we don't grow coffee and bananas in America, but he also took the tariffs off of beef, and we make tons of beef in America. So it's not stuff we don't make in America. It's just an admission that his policy was bad, but
Right.
it's not a full repeal.
So we've got like Danny gives it a D, ironically, but also for real. I give it a C because I feel like most of his other actions are going to be worse. Like this is a positive, if a teeny weeny positive. So, and then Phil is not one.
I mean, I would give it a B, so I think it slots in at C. It's just the average.
See, it is.
And also, I'm just like thinking ahead a little bit on the tier list for like how much this will help him. Okay. Next, we've got the 50-year mortgage. Now, you can't really see it here, but his initial truth, he put a picture of himself next to FDR, of all people, who instated the 30-year mortgage. I guess that makes sense. Great American presidents, FDR and Donald Trump.
You know, I think there are some actually some very strong parallels between Trump and FDR, and that they both like
Want to serve 3 terms?
Well, yes, and also like they're generally like their theory of power is like I should try to do everything, like let them stop me. Is like was their like approach to trying to do things. Like they'll find the maximalist interpretation of anything, and like but now that's where it basically ends. It's like
right.
That's not true, dude. That's not true. They have another similarity, dude.
Okay.
Is it, Danny? Were you going to say it's that both presidents put huge numbers of Americans in camps?
I was going to say they're both really bad at the 100-meter dash.
Anyway,
Trump is in great shape. All his doctors tell us that.
Yeah, so the 50-year mortgage, why is there no F on this tier list? Like, that's just
lower
really,
than D.
It's just really bad. That definitely doesn't help affordability. It's like, you know what you need? Debt past your life.
Yeah.
What you need is mortgage payments in retirement. That's what you need. Thanks, Donald.
This is meant to appeal to people who are not well versed on compound interest. Just like a quick and like calculation of the sort of savings you would get on a 50-year mortgage versus a 30-year mortgage. You would be saving, if your 30-year mortgage was about $3,000 a month, you'd be saving about $366,
assuming
roughly.
The same interest rates.
Assuming the same interest rates,
right? Which of course you wouldn't get the same interest rates because it's a riskier, longer-term mortgage. For the same reason, a 30-year mortgage has a higher interest rate than a 10-year mortgage. A 50-year mortgage would have a higher interest rate than a 30-year mortgage.
Right.
So you'd save even less.
Assuming the same interest rate, a 50-year mortgage, so a 30-year mortgage, you would be paying a total of $579,000. A 50-year mortgage, you'd be paying over $1 million. So a difference of about $500,000.
Yeah. That one I
find
less.
Assuming you wouldn't have a higher interest rate. Like you could owe $1.5 million, you know, like
the total amount of interest you pay over the lifetime of the loan is a little bit less important because there is, you know, inflation and it's all over such a long period.
Maybe this is actually an A tier idea because he's just going to introduce these long mortgages and then tons of inflation so that, you know, the mortgage debt is relatively less.
Sure. Yeah.
Right,
I mean, if you turn these into like Reichsmarks or whatever, like then everyone's debt is relieved, right?
I mean,
like,
the other like key problem with this is that like we don't really have like our housing problem is a supply problem. So this doesn't change like the supply. This just makes it so like, I mean, if more people can, the problem isn't that people can't get mortgages. Like people can already get debt. There's lots of debt that people can take on. It's just that houses are too expensive. And so it's like, okay, if you can get a new debt instrument that lets your monthly payment be a little bit lower, then more people will be bidding on that house. And so it's like, it just won't drive prices down. Yeah, this is a really stupid policy. And it's also like everyone can tell, like, oh, 50-year mortgage. That sounds like, it sounds like indentured servitude. Like 30-year mortgage already sounds like, damn, that's a long time to be paying off my house. 50 years, it's like, wait a minute. People don't even, like, I'm 35 years old, like buying my first house. I'm 39, I'm 40. Like 50-year mortgage, really? Like, so my kids?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And transparently terrible.
It's just like, it's a huge boon to the banking industry. So if he was concerned that the banks didn't like him enough, then I guess this is good for them. Maybe
lenders like giving out 50-year loans.
I mean, they like collecting $500,000, $500,000 more, right? That's good for them. I don't know if they would actually be able to collect it. I mean, a 50-year mortgage is pretty rich talk from a president of a country where the life expectancy is declining.
Oh, let's just slap this one in D. Let's see what other
I think
garbage.
this is about as bad as it gets. But
see what other garbage is coming out of this
I would
guy's
give it
mouth.
a little bit.
No, put it down
I
there
would
in
give
the
it a
Donald
little
tier.
bit higher. I
Why?
would give it a little bit higher. I'll put it in the bottom. But I will, in terms of like how it will improve opinion of him, I think that this will be popular among the stupid, which are a core demographic for the president.
People who rent their couches.
God, couch renters love this. That's just free money, baby. Okay, so this one you can't even tell what this is. So
We can't tell what any of these are, dude. It's all right.
It looks like a graph that has a
I
little
will
bump.
consult my notes. This is so this is the image for the promise of a $2,000 tariff dividend. So what you're seeing here, this line at the bottom of this chart, that is the Polymarket odds that will actually get those those $2,000 checks. That it is
not the
currently
largest
sitting
image,
around.
but it looks like a very modest bump.
Yeah, so like
and a bump
right
that has
here,
gone away.
that number, that is 7%. Yeah.
Holy shit,
So-
dude. What does it say that like our president says something is going to happen and people think there's less than a 10% chance that it'll happen, dude? That's rough.
I don't know. Okay, so he could do it, right? Like currently there's 900, as of time of recording, there's $950,000 riding on this outcome. Total, like, money in the pot on a Polymarket. So people are pretty invested in the idea that we're not getting these $2,000 checks. The tariffs have made $100 billion so far. In order to pay $2,000 to every American, he would need $600 billion.
Wait, I mean,
He would have
wouldn't
to
be paying like
win a
kids
lot
and
of
stuff,
money off
right?
a Polymarket to make that happen, huh?
I mean, he hasn't.
What's
He wouldn't be paying like kids and stuff, right? It would just be like taxpayers.
Well, okay, so he would be paying taxpayers and not the wealthy ones. That was his actual quote here that that his staff have to try to like make a policy is people that are against the tariffs are fools. A dividend of at least $2,000 a person, not including high income people, will be paid to everyone.
I mean, you say he could do this. Sorry, does he have any power to do this? He doesn't have any power to do this. This would have to be an act of Congress, right? To spend hundreds of billions of dollars in some UBI scheme.
Yeah, good thing
tax.
Congress always stands up to him and never passes all the bullshit that he wants.
I mean, this is, come on, you can't, they're not going to, this one wouldn't fly, right?
So
He doesn't have the power to do
it's
this.
not unheard of that the president would send a bunch of money to like every American, right? Like we all got stimulus checks in COVID.
That wasn't the president. That was
an act of Congress.
Congress. But I think he wrote his name. He got his name on the checks.
He did.
So, yeah. So that would
he
be
would likely do something similar.
That would be a great PR move. But yeah, I don't see. I mean, is Congress even going to pass this? I don't think Congress would pass this.
I don't think anyone's considering it.
If anyone in Congress, I mean, the reason he's gotten away with the tariffs is because no one's been voting on it. The Republicans.
That's not true. They voted to not vote on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but that kind of agrees with what I said, right?
I don't know. Now we're getting into the semantic weeds. If you vote to not vote, have you still made a vote? I think you have.
Okay, but so Phil, so would the $2,000 to every low income person be a good policy? Yeah, sure. Like I could. That would be probably the best, like the single best policy that he would have done. Maybe probably inflationary. But progressive.
I mean, barely. Like okay, so like if you're doing damage control, right? Like you're not even touching the damage you've done. So you're putting the budget out $500 billion, which like who cares at this point, right? Like it's already fucked. But everyone's health insurance premiums are going up this coming year because Congress didn't extend the Affordable Care Act subsidies. My personal premiums are going up $1,000 a month. So if I get this $2,000 check, that will account for 2 months of premiums. Like, that
Yeah,
doesn't help me
Just the
very much.
increase, right? Not
Yeah,
the
but-
whole
Just the
premium.
increase.
I mean, we're not saying that, or when I say that this would be good if you did it, like, I'm not saying that this would in any way make up for all the terrible stuff that he's done, but that's not what I'm saying. But like, still, it would be good to have a, redistribution. Like, of course, it's not even that much of a redistribution, but
All right, we're just saying this is going to be the best thing on the tier list.
Sure.
right?
So let's leave it a B. Like, yeah,
Sure.
it's okay.
B
Doesn't
for
seem to
best
have the
on
power.
best of bad.
It should also be noted, in terms of if the likelihood of this happening, that he made basically an identical claim about the Doge cuts at the beginning of the year, and those stimulus checks did not surface. So, we still have yet to see all of the money we saved from Doge, and I doubt we'll see the money we are getting from the tariffs.
Yep, me too.
All right, next one. This is Trump blasting Marjorie Taylor Greene. What do you think about this strategic move to turn on MTG here?
I think the strategic move is her turning on him because she thinks he's dead. She thinks he's not the right ship to be riding on anymore. And I think she's right.
I mean, he can't do anything else, right? Like, his image is trash if he just lets somebody like walk all over him and doesn't fight back. That's like a part of his magic is he's willing to torch anyone who crosses him slightly. That's why they're all so
Right.
pansy-footed
Yeah.
around him.
So Marjorie Taylor Greene voted to release the Epstein files. And in response, Trump said, "I am withdrawing my support and endorsement for Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene." He also vowed complete and unyielding support to any conservative primary challenger leading into 2026 midterm elections, described Greene as wacky and a lunatic, and all she does is complain.
It could work out well for him if he somehow finds some primary challenger who can actually beat her. I don't think he's gonna do that. I think she's probably gonna win. I think she's more popular in her district than he is.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, wacky, lunatic, all she does is complain. No lies detected. I would be with him more on this, except I did catch another little criticism he threw in there and called her Marjorie Taylor Brown, because that's what happens when green things die, and her complaint is dying. So I thought that was pretty weak from Trump, who's usually really good at insults.
Insulting people.
I think this is an ineffective bit of damage control. I think all it does is draw attention to the fact that there's more coming out about him in the Epstein case. He spent like a large amount of time with one of the Epstein victims alone at the house, walked by undressed underage girls and walked into a glass door because he was too busy ogling them. You know what? Let's just get right to it. This is Bill Clinton. You can't see it, but the caption is "When Trump calls you big, beautiful Bill."
Right. So he opened an investigation into Clinton and Democrats, right?
Yeah, opening an investigation.
That's one way to put
Democrats.
it. Wah.
So, one of the allegations in the Epstein emails is that Trump sucked off someone named Bubba, and Bubba is the nickname for Bill Clinton.
Sorry, what? Just to be clear, I mean, sorry, this is something that's in one of these emails, is Epstein claiming that
I
Trump
think it
sucked
reads
off
to me
Bill
like a
Clinton.
joke, not like a serious thing.
Well, I'm
Right.
laughing.
Whatever nonsense is in that. So opening an investigation into his political opponents seems like seems like the kind of thing he's doing. It can be effective for the reason that Glenn Kirshner brought up, that now that there's an active investigations and criminal prosecutions going on, they can't release or comment on the details. And
Why do you wait so long, dude? If like they had this information this whole time, you just waited till now to get started.
Like, yeah, I think it draws more attention to the the allegations here.
there's already lots of attention on it, though.
Maybe, I don't know, like it seems to matter. Like the core of his constituency is the kill your local pedophile crew. Maybe if they think he is a pedophile or ephebophile, then maybe they'll turn against him, like Marjorie Taylor Greene has.
Yeah, I feel like that would be pretty politically damaging if Donald Trump was confirmed as a pedophile.
Do you think it would be more or less politically damaging than if Bill would probably say he did not have sexual relations with that man, to be technical about it?
If he had sucked off Bubba?
Yeah, or if he was just
which would be worse for him
serial teen
politically?
predator.
I don't know, man. I think that's the speculation is going too far, even for me. But yeah, looking at this list, Phil, I think you've made an astute observation that Trump's response to what's going on with his political struggles, his responses suck.
Yeah,
Shocking.
Not likely to
He's
work.
been such an adept manipulator of politics so far.
I don't know. We put this at the 50-year mortgage rate. I don't know. I didn't even rank these. I just kind of put them on here. Where do we rank these?
I think
C,
the
D.
investigation could be helpful to him. And so, yeah, attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene seemed to be forced. So, to see.
All right.
It's official.
B for Bill. B for Bubba.
B for Bubba.
Well, that does it for another exciting episode of Infohazard. If you saw something that Trump did in the last week as being kind of like this, no. If you were President Trump, how would you dig yourself out of this hole? Let us know in the comments. And from all of us at Infohazard Industries, go to Mar-a-Lago.